Because we talked a little bit about lessons 11 and 12, we're going to start with lesson 13. We're going to be talking about problems about equal groups. And so here, the common theme is that we're going to be thinking about multiplication. Let's read how this problem plays out. It's saying that Juanita packed 25 marbles in each box. If she filled 32 boxes, how many marbles did she pack in all? Let's take a visual on this one. So if we consider the first thing that was said, Juanita packed 25 marbles, that's this big box here in each box. Then we find out that she has 32 boxes that must be filled or that she was able to fill. And this is 32 boxes. The question is, how many marbles did she pack in all? And so you can kind of think about the fact that we'd have to add 25 plus 25 plus 25, and we'd be adding 25 32 times. But you know what that is. When you add the same number over and over again, that's just an opportunity to multiply. So let's do so. So 32 boxes with 25 marbles in each box. We're going to do a little bit of multiplication and we should be able to find that answer. So however you multiply this, I'm going to just talk about the way that many of us do. We say 5 times 2 is 10. We put our 0 down here and we carry our 1 to the tens place. Then we do 5 times 3, which is 15. We add the 1 and then we get 160 here, or 116 down here, which is 160. The next thing we're going to do is multiply the 2 times each of the digits at the top. But since this 2 isn't really a 2, we got to put a 0 here as a placeholder because it's really a 20. So now that we've got that placeholder there, we're going to follow along like we did before. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 3, this one had to do with the last part, so I'm going to cross it out. 2 times 3 is 6. I'm going to add these guys together, and I get 800. So Juanita packed 800 marbles according to this problem. Does that make sense? I hope so. Let me know if you see the same thing when when you have word problems like this. Do you see why you need to multiply? All right, let's move on to the next. This next problem is giving us vibes of multiplication, but I don't think we're going to end up multiplying at the end. Let's take a look. Movie tickets are $8 each. The total ticket sales were $960. So that means after they sold all the tickets, the amount of money that they got was $960. Look at the question. It says, how many tickets were sold? So we want to know the number of tickets here. Let's think about this. Since we don't know how many tickets we sold, I'm going to use the variable t for the number of tickets. So I know each ticket was $8. So that means if I took each ticket, multiplied it by 8, that would tell me how much money we got. And the amount of much money that the total of the ticket sales, we were told is 960. So t times 8 is 960. Sometimes you might even see this written like this. 8t is equal to 960. When we don't have an operation symbol between a letter and a number and they're close together like this, we know that that's multiplication. So the question is, how do we figure out what t is? Well, if 8 times t is 960, we know that we can use the converse of division. 960 divided by 8 should give me t. And so what we're going to do is do some long division here. Take our 960, that's our dividend. We're going to put our divisor on the outside and we're going to proceed. 8 goes into 9 one time. 1 times 8 is 8. We have 1 as a remainder. We're going to drop the 6 down to make 16. 8 does go into 16 2 whole times, and there's no remainder here. Now we're going to drop the 0. 8 cannot go into 0, or it goes into 0 0 times. 0 times 8 is 0, and now we're done. So the answer is 120. T equals 120. There were 120 tickets sold. Okay, so let's look at example 3. 600 new cars were delivered to the dealer by 40 trucks. So we've got 600 cars. And sometimes word problems do this. They write the number as a word, so it's hard to see it. So I would actually just write 600 cars right here just to keep my mind focused on it. So 600 cars were delivered to the dealer by 40 trucks. Each truck carried the same number of cars. How many cars were on the truck? So an image of that would look like this. Okay, so here are the 40 trucks. And we know that there's 600 cars split up amongst all of them. So technically, we know that all of these trucks, let's see if I can't even draw on it. All of these trucks have to contain the 600 cars, all of these trucks, right? So how do we get that? Where does that come from? All right, so here's what we have to do. We're going to have to divide the 600 cars over these 40 trucks. So 600 cars divided by 40 trucks. Here's the thing that you may know. You can actually get rid of the zeros. And this answer, 4 divided into 60, will be exactly the same as 40 divided into 600. The reason why this works is because if we were to write this kind of like as a fraction, 40 over 600, we know we could divide the top and bottom by 10, and then I'd get 4 over 60 because dividing by 10 takes away a 0 in a way. And so this fraction is the same as this, and this division problem is the same as this. So we're going to divide 4 into 600, which is going to be fast for us. 4 goes into 6 one time. It's going to give me a 4 down here. I'm going to have a 2 as a remainder. 4 into, let's scooch this down a little bit. 4 goes into 20 5 times. 5 times 4 is 20. Bring down your last 0. 4 goes into 0 0 times. 0 times 4 is 0, and we're done. And so as you see down here, the text was saying, hey, this is really a multiplication problem, but we're going to have to turn it into division because we're saying 40 times the number of cars in each truck has to equal 600. So looking at that, we know that we're going to get a division problem, and this division problem tells us that each car, oh, it shouldn't be 600, it should be 60, my bad. My bad. Each truck rather, contained 15. You see what I did here? Am I taking off the 0 here? I didn't take off the 0 when I rewrote the problem. So it's 4 divided into not 600, but 60. You probably heard that and said, no, lady. Anyway, so yes, so there's 15 in all of these trucks. And then when we add all that up together, we're going to get the 600. With that in mind, here we go. We are super ready for the written practice. And we are super ready to get started with the practice set. We can do all of the practice set, and we're ready to get started with the written practice as well. And you can do the odd problems here. Make sure you read the even problems because reading through the even problems will prepare you for your test. All right. I look forward to talking to you soon, sweetie. Take care. Bye-bye.